Hello, Tampa. Mayor Jane Castor here, finishing my little lifesaver. We have another incredible guest today. It's my very good friend, Roger Germann from the Florida Aquarium. And we will get to you in just a moment, Roger. I want to thank everybody for joining the Facebook Live again today. I know your time is very important, and thank you for spending a little bit of time with us here today. So I have to update, as I always do, with the COVID-19 cases. We have had a spike in the number of deaths, unfortunately. We have case update is 1,331 total cases in Hillsborough County, including 33 deaths. And those deaths, if you have seen in media coverage, are have been located at two nursing homes, one in Plant City and one out on Fletcher Avenue. So, as I always say, each of those numbers represents an individual who is leaving behind their loved ones and friends as well. And we are focusing, we have been focusing in the city, the county has as well, been focusing on the long-term care, on those assisted living facilities, nursing homes. That was one of the first places, it was the first place that we went to when we learned of the COVID-19, was to go out and get information to all of those locations on safety tips to take, on how to treat visitors and so forth. But that is sort of the epicenter for the high risk individuals. And so we can't have that go in, that virus get in and spread around. So there's a great deal of testing going on of all of the staff at these locations in the city and in the county. And if they find one of the staff members positive, then they're testing the residents as well, because the residents really are on lockdown. If where my mom is at in a retirement place, which is so happening, you have to make an appointment to like even meet with her. She's so busy. But they are on super lockdown. So it's incredible. But you have staff that's coming in and out. So we are doing all we can to, again, keep the cases to a minimum, and then clearly the number of deaths resulting from COVID-19. All right, we started our Lift Up local recovery plan last night on Cinco de Mayo, and it was very successful. It worked out very well. The restaurants were very appreciative of us allowing them to move tables and chairs out in the sidewalk, parking lot, and in some cases out in the street as well. So that was successful last night. We're sort of looking at last night and tonight to iron out some of the wrinkles, a few changes here and there, but overall it was a success. And we would, again, the restaurants are doing their part. Let's make sure that you do your part. Make sure you have a reservation before you go, because no seat, no service. So have a reservation before you go to a restaurant. That way you won't have to linger waiting for your table to come open. And it's better for the restaurants too, because they can turn those tables over faster and be able to make more of a profit, because they're all, just getting back up on their feet economically. And if we do this first phase well, we'll be able to build on that success and open up many more service providers. So it's critically important that we all do our part, and part of your part is 6 foot distance separation and wearing of the facial coverings. So very, very important. Again, go to our website, tampagov.net. You guys should all have this just etched in your mind by now. tampagov.net for all the information on COVID-19, all the information on One Tampa, our relief program, all the information on Lift Up Local, how we're helping our local businesses. And then we still have our call center available. That's 833 TPA info. So you can call and talk to someone. We have English and Spanish speakers on there. All righty. So Roger Germann, and Roger, until I read, and I've known you since you first day you came in town, and I did not know some of this stuff about you. Roger Germann currently serves as the president and chief executive officer of the Florida Aquarium. That I know. Since joining the aquarium in June 2017, he has actively helped elevate the organization with several high-profile recognitions. Prior to joining the Florida Aquarium, Roger served as Executive Vice President for more than 16 years at the world-renowned John G. Shedd Aquarium in Chicago. I knew that too, where he earned his business and conservation leadership reputation. This I didn't know. Previously, he worked as a freelance producer for the TV show America's Funniest People and started his career in communications as a freelance writer and producer for ABC 7 Chicago. So welcome, Roger. We appreciate you taking your time to be with us today.
Well, it's great to be here, Madam Mayor. And first, I'm no Anderson Cooper, even though I come from the media background. So thanks for having me on. And if I can really quickly, again, I want to thank you for your decisive, prudent leadership and guidance through really what truly is unprecedented. And I know you were jokingly saying, it's the same routine every day and on certain updates. But we really are in unprecedented times, and you never want that to be cliche. So thank you on behalf of the Florida Aquarium, our family, my personal family as a Tampanian, for all your leadership, because we're getting through this really well because of you and your team.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. You say decisiveness. I'm sure some people would use another word, but that's okay. But thank you very much. So tell us, when are we going to reopen the aquarium?
Well, this is the wonderful thing here at the Florida Aquarium, and working really closely with you and your staff, public health officials, obviously the county, and looking at the state. We've been closed for 2 months. We've cared for our animals. We've had some amazing breakthroughs in conservation and mission, but we've been closed for 2 months. We depend on our folks to come through here in the aquarium to help support us. And based on guidelines, directives, and really working closely with your office, we are going to reopen the Florida Aquarium very carefully, very prudently, very conservatively next Friday, May 15th.
Awesome. That's great. May 15th. I'll put that on my calendar. So what's going to be different? Let's just start at the very beginning. You come up to get a ticket.
Yeah, so one of the things that we do, and it goes off of your restaurant kind of directive as well. So what has changed at the Florida Aquarium? And first and foremost, health and safety of our guests, of our staff and volunteers, and of our animals is utmost priority. So that's our guiding principle: health and safety, health and safety. So some of the things we're doing is we are also asking for folks to go online at flaquarium.org, buy your tickets, make your reservations. And so we are offering timed tickets. We are offering online tickets. And why is that important? For 2 reasons. One is online reservations allow us to do contactless, touchless transactions. So we are no longer going to be passing paper and tickets. You just hold your phone up and, or print it out and we scan it. So less connectivity there. The second piece on time tickets, Madam Mayor, is the fact that we are going to limit capacity. And while the governor throughout organizations like ours can be at 25%, and I know you and other public health officials have supported that, by limiting capacity and doing time ticketing, we're going to let about 150 people in an hour. And what that equates to is about 12.5% of our capacity. So very, very small. Again, we want to support Tampa's reopening by taking some baby steps, but we know it's important for us to reopen. So again, health and safety is our priority, and we're excited to get open next week.
That's awesome. I did not know the capacity was that large. So what other steps have you taken to protect your guests, the staff, and the animals?
Yeah, so from a guest standpoint, you'll see a lot of new things, a couple I've talked about earlier, but we're doing, things that you see in our daily lives, installing plexiglass in certain places. We've got new decals that are spread out throughout the aquarium where you're 6 foot social distancing, a sawfish is 6 feet, a canoe is 6 feet. You'll see fun things like that around here to kind of give you those visual guides along those lines. We are doing a one-way path. So anyone who's been here at the Florida Aquarium, as you know, you come in, you go up an escalator, you start at wetlands and work your way around. However, we do allow folks to kind of mingle and go at their own pace. However, for this to ensure physical distancing, you now have a guided path and a one-way pathway to move down. The other side of that is we have some of our exhibits, especially our interactive exhibits with animals and our play area, will be still temporarily closed, not only in line with directives, but again, we want to make sure we're taking care of the health of our staff and our guests.
Good. So, hopefully you've seen around town, we've done the chalk diagrams, painted the chalk diagrams on the, and I say we, I've watched, but we have the pirate, 6 foot pirate, but we have a 6 foot manatee too. So if you want to borrow our stencil, we've got a 6 foot manatee, encouraging everyone to stay 6 feet apart. So tell me, are the animals lonely? Like, how have the animals adjusted without guests?
That is a great question because yes, 2 months with folks not being here, the animals are doing great. So that's the good news.
Good.
They get 24-hour care, and as I always like to say, they probably get better care than you and I on
Yeah.
on a regular basis anyway. So they are doing great. But I will say that yes, there are a few animals here at the aquarium who you can tell do miss people. They miss people interacting or looking in the exhibits. And so some of the things we've done here to increase enrichment is, for instance, every morning, staff members get to be the guest DJ for the day. And we have music that's playing, throughout the aquarium because, there are the music and the sounds that are there. We're doing additional dives, turning lights on and off where we can. We're trying to save energy, but just kind of keeping some of that normalcy because you can definitely tell the animals miss people. And when I think of our penguins, which have also, like everywhere else, have run around the aquarium by themselves, and birds have flown, they're getting used to some of their new environments without folks, and they're enjoying it as well.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? So I talked to your good friend, the CEO at the zoo, and same thing. He said that they have to re-socialize the animals prior to opening up, to be used to the individuals coming in. So that's something that I'm sure people just don't think about that. So are you actually playing Finding Nemo, a movie? And if you are playing that for the animals, are you providing popcorn?
So we are doing things like playing Finding Nemo. You're exactly right. There's a few of the areas. I think one of the best ones is we have this incredible exhibit with pufferfish. And if you think about the pufferfish, right, they're just cool as it is, and these big
Yeah.
bulgy eyes. We put up Finding Nemo and other movies for them from an interactive standpoint, and to watch them be so mesmerized, and
It's
it's hilarious.
hilarious.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. I actually have my screensaver. I have a puffer fish and a picture of one of my kids holding a puffer fish. And they have those two little front teeth. Their face is just hilarious, especially when they're all puffed up and then you drop them and pew, they're back in the water and off to go. So, how about the African penguins? How have they been doing?
They're doing great. Again, they're probably one of the biggest the animals that miss people and miss that connectivity, but they get a chance to explore the aquarium. So they have discovered things like when a shark swims by, what in the world is that? And hey, wait, I thought you're supposed to be protecting me from them. So they've been in some exhibits the other day, actually, and I'll make sure it doesn't happen since then, so people aren't out there stalking and being a paparazzi. But they got a chance to walk around outside and get a chance to see the Florida Aquarium and one of the temporary exhibits we have here in our Wash the Shore exhibit. So they are getting out and they're great enrichment. And I definitely know they're looking forward to people being back here on site.
That is hilarious. So, what do you show them? The movie Ice Age? I mean, what do they get to see?
It's funny. We have to have a collection of movies that don't scare our animals either. Like no one's playing Jaws, right?
Yeah, right. That wouldn't be good at all. Yeah, for sure. No killer whales. There's no doubt about that. So, and this was, I mean, world news here. Your scientists recently made national news when they became the first in the world to get Atlantic ridged cactus coral to reproduce in human care. And I know you're very proud of that. And I know I don't want to steal your thunder. But before you tell our audience exactly how that occurred, I did hear a rumor that there was a candlelight dinner, some mood music, and maybe a little wine involved in that. Is that true?
Yeah, that was our staff who did all that.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a coral.
No, it's you're just giving away the trade secret because we have all these like scientific things, E equals MC squared, that we're sharing with the world, and now they know.
Music. Yeah, that's all you needed for the coral to get in the mood. There you go.
It
so
is.
How did that happen? Tell me, because that really, I mean, that was incredible. The first time in the world.
It is incredible, and thank you, Madam Mayor, for that. One of the things that I'm extremely proud of not only is our staff here at the Florida Aquarium and our commitment, even in the middle of a pandemic, to stay the course on our mission. We are about saving wildlife from extinction. And so we've not wavered despite everything that's happening. But the other thing that I would say, and I love and appreciate your support in this effort. These global breakthroughs, the second one that we've done in the last 8 months, they're happening right here in Tampa and Tampa Bay, right? And so that's actually probably the bigger pride for me as a Tampanian and as the head of this great aquarium, that this organization, with the support of our community and yourself and others, is doing global breakthrough things. And when I think of the mantra of Tampa Bay is arrived, we've arrived in so many levels, and I just love to shout that off the mountaintops as well. Besides the significance of the science breakthrough, it's really cool for us.
Yes, it really is. And some of the other things, that it just underscores how we, come together as a community for different initiatives and ensure that, we have the right people, the scientists in place. You have the right support to get that done. Another great example, and you were the first to say, what can we do, is the Bead-Free Bay. And that was an incredible initiative as well, helping we love our water. I mean, that is one of the crown jewels in Tampa. And we found so many of these beads are down underneath our bay, and the majority of which are made out of lead or have lead in them. And so that was an incredible initiative to get those beads out of the bay and make our bay much safer for all of the wildlife that we enjoy every day.
No, I agree. Look, we are honored to be part of that. I also think what that does is that goes to really true the core crux of our mission. This animal human nature bond, especially as we become more urban, can sometimes get lost. And even us living here in Tampa, we in our backyard, we can lose it. And so it's easy for folks to do things like we discard bees in the bay. But one of the things that I think has been really critical is for our mission and our message. When people have those connections, they care more, and your leadership doing the same of why should we care? Not only we're honored to be part of that, but as you can see, behavioral change that we all aspire to see, that's now happening because your messaging and leadership, our messaging for 25 years, which is starting to hopefully resonate, that we are connected, we're interconnected, and let's take care of each other.
Yep. All right. Now you brought it up, 25 years. So what are we going to do to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the aquarium?
I know it was one of those days. So we decided for 25 years, a silver anniversary, to celebrate for 14 months. So while we launched our 25th anniversary this past January, we are going to commemorate and celebrate all through the rest of the year through March 31st of 2021. However, we did close our doors on March 31st of this year, which was our actual 25th. I know we were going to have you come out and do some fun things. So now that we're reopening and the city's reopening, let's get our priorities ahead. But we look forward to having you come over and all of our fans come over and really do a one-day celebration, because it's hard to believe it's 25 years, but it is 25.
I know, it is incredible. And then maybe we'll just look at it like a leap year or something. We'll on 26th anniversary, we'll just go back to 25 and see how that goes. So this week you released 4 endangered sea turtles after rehabbing them at your Center for Conservation in Apollo Beach. First, tell me about the center, and then about those turtles as well. A lot of people don't know that you have that center, or that you have the Sunset, the educational water tours out there as well. So tell me about both of those.
Yeah, so really quickly, it's a great partnership that we have with TICO and FWC. Out there in Apollo Beach. And so there are some ways to be able to go there as kids and students at the Suncoast Youth Center by invite only at this point. But we do have a lot of it's our conservation campus, and we have a lot of things. That's where the coral breakthrough happened. But we also have a $4 million sea turtle rehabilitation center that's been open for a little over a year. And that's just important to us to, again, save wildlife from extinction. So we had 4 endangered sea turtles that have now gone back into the ocean yesterday, which is absolutely fantastic. 3 of them had frostbite. It's hard to believe that frostbite, in a sea turtle, and especially in this day and age, but they came to us in the winter months. 1 was flown from New England. So while we have Tom Brady and Gronk here, we had a New England sea turtle here as well.
The real news, we got a turtle here. That is awesome. Well, listen, I thank you so much for everything that you're doing at the aquarium. I appreciate your partnership. I certainly appreciate your friendship. And before we let you go, and I don't want to ruin any of your surprises, but what is that you have around your neck? Is
Oh,
that,
so you had asked me a question of one of the other things that I failed to forget. So all of our staff will be wearing masks when we welcome our folks back.
awesome, awesome. I absolutely love it. That is so cool. All right, Roger, thank you so much for all you do. And we look forward to the opening, and I look forward to coming out there and feeding the sharks as opposed to being a meal for the sharks. So that'll all be very exciting.
Our sharks are not as bad as the political ones, so we welcome you
Yeah.
any day.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's pretty good. Instead of hanging out with you, I'm going to go hang out with the real sharks. They're less dangerous. That sounds good. All right. Well, thanks again. We appreciate it. And to everyone, please stay tuned, stay informed. TampaGov.net. You know the drill. Text Tampa Ready, Tampa Lista, or Tampa Biz to 888-777 for real-time text information on COVID-19 and on what we're doing for our businesses in the community. And remember to stay calm, stay safe, be kind, and if at all possible, stay home. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Thanks, Roger.